Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. We are live. And today we want to show what the witchcraft is. Is still being is witchcraft still being performed in some other parts of the world. That is what we want to perform. If it is there, what is it, and what is it all about? Once you get this information, then you're going to know the truth of it and every secret of it. If you were maybe in the past most afraid that you can, it can hate, it can harm your spirituality or it can destroy your reputation, then this is the time you have to know the truth and you are going to use your will, you are going to use your reason to always be safe. Remember, those that also perform witchcraft, they are also human, but majority of why witchcraft is being performed is because it's source of power self. It's part of an individuality. So if you are there to threaten their well-being or to threaten or uh, to try to overshine over their doings, then that's when now hate project. So what the hate project it means all their power self it has been threatened. So once someone's power self has been threatened, then he use all his means so that he can still have the identity of who I. Remember, always you need to have identity of I, your true self, your self-esteem. You need to have self-esteem that you are you, but you don't need to be discovered by your your self-esteem, your I, your ego, that you are an individual. But you have to share your ideas because once those witchcraft practices are being performed, they are mostly being performed by will. So once it is being performed, then target are still people. It depends on the type of witchcraft is being performed. Remember, in occult sciences, there is also practices of witchcraft. So the type of the witchcraft being performed determine the quality of information you can get from there. You see, but you can't remember in the past because they were evil. They were most involvement of people being getting killed whatsoever. So it just turned out that hate was projected from the society that they started having witch hunting. So once the witch hunting was being done, then people were getting killed. Now those being identified as witches, they were getting killed. Until nowadays, where if you see some people they perform the witchcraft, it's layer because of that stigma that was attached with the witchcraft practices instead of realizing that as human beings, as we are involved in, we develop spiritually, emotionally, and physically. So, uh, witchcraft practice is also part of our psychology. Remember, growth is psychological. Everything that attaches us to materialism, just look at how things were in the past when development of science began and to the way it is right now. It's still different because psychologically we have involved. So let's look at these types of witchcraft. What do they really are, and what do they represent? So I'm going to share with you guys uh, an article where it talks about the witchcraft. After an article, I'm also going to share with you certain experience that others have has done, certain experiences and the discovery that others have come up with in the dealing and finding what witchcraft is. Yeah, so you can see here types of witchcraft. There are several witches. Some of the more well-known one are electric witch. So electric witch uh, curated corporation of time bombed globally. You see, witchcraft type timely time globally referred magical, spiritual, and occult practices that have great meaning to the individual. Individual. So this is now electrical. Remember, as we are involved in electrical, which it means it's more powerful, but to an individual. Because electrical means that it means electric. It's part of once you hear electrical, you just look at in forms of energy. Then it might be like power to the level of electricity. It's power to the level of electricity. Like even if you just see someone carrying food like this is a stop. It can be as a form of witchcraft. Why? Because and by will, remember, it's all about as someone is growing spiritually, then meaning to it. You might even add time to it. You see, like the way the definition is, electric witchcraft is a carefully created, you see, by will, corporation of bombed globally. You see, the way in your side you have look at things, then you can create a form. In the long run, if a lot of people love the idea, if a lot of people are with you, then it means you are going to attract you. Now the law of attraction whatsoever applying, then magic happens. Then you see things like getting attracted to. So that is called electrical, electric witchcraft. You see. Uh, Another type, and these practices can include Buddhism, yoga, and Eastern philosophy. Any of the many magical practices, occult practices, such as ceremonial magic, psychism, mediumship, of divination, any form of once we talk about divine things does not, once we say divine, it's holiness, you see. So once it is from holiness, then it means if you are holy, that's why we say if you are a virgin, you are divine, regardless of whatever you do. You see? So it's also part of electrical witchcraft. So but it's individual witch, because to be divine, there's you can be, and if you are a virgin, you can be divine for up to 30 years, and in the society, you are going to still be looked as the most beautiful, the most attractive woman to every man in the world. That's why we say it's divine, it's holiness. And another example of any or form of divination is also sacred things that are found, most sacred things are found in the Bible, in the where the religions are. There are a lot of sacred things. Like another good example of sacred thing is we can just look at examples. Muslims, the women, they wear a hat. That is it. Divination. It signifies a lot of things. It signifies the type of women you are going to, you are meeting. It signifies how how his world projects to you. A form of any form of everything that is happening, any form of occult teachings. Remember, religion is not witchcraft, but we are talking of divinity and divination. We are talking of holiness. So holiness does not is not part of always. This is just an example. Religion is not part of witchcraft. That is, we need to make things clear. Part of witchcraft, but in religion, remember, we say esoteric teaching and the exoteric teachings. So any form of in religion, there are also done. So little that are done in religion, they are not. They make people holy, but they are not form of witchcraft. But there are rituals to purify our souls. Um, uh, while witchcraft is performed by people who doesn't even go to church. You see, so people who doesn't go to church, they perform uh, regarded as the ones who doesn't go to church. If you and has been accused of witchcraft, it's rare. It's not common. But if you have studied, you can study them, ask them what was it all about. Then it's going to be like something everyone can learn it from. But we are talking of witchcraft and the type of witchcraft and what it is, why it is still being performed, and why it's hard for people to live witchcraft. Because some people have been while being told and to live, how to live, all form of lifestyle they were being told is was a form of witchcraft. So that is a part of that is elect type. Another elemental witch. So elemental witchery is a very old form of craft. So craft, remember, craft, any form of craft, any and the folk magicians understood the power of the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. You see? Remember, once we talk of air, earth, fire, and of course, right now we have uh, what they are. So, how things turn from for elements, how things turn from air to uh, fire evaporation. It's part of evaporation, melting, and freezing. That is, and earth. These things are what here on the planet. But how do they happen? That is it. The thing that doesn't we always study. So once you hear the most folk healers, like the magicians or the mediums, talking about this element. They might take some water pouring on you, saying you were being witched, but this water is healing you because of what they believe you ate. That makes you holy. Why? Because all the mediums, divine source of power, of their power. Their source of power is divine, and they know that the power they have gonna live longer. They know the community you are in. Once you trust them, once you they tell they have skills in abundance that no one can surpass them. So they know you. Once you have explained, remember, uh, mediums, witch healers, first they get information from you. They like the same thing. Gone to hospital. You explain the doctor what's your problem. So if you don't trust doctors, if you don't tell them all the information they need, then definitely you are not going to get the supposed to get. You see, the same principle applies, but in the hospital's admission criteria, do about witchcraft, you have to listen to your what the doctor says, because the doctor knows what your body is and what you have to tell them doctor the symptoms. You're gonna exactly identify the problem that your avatar is facing and prescribe the most beneficial medicine for your avatar. You get me? I hope you get me. But in a witchcraft, if you have made for this elemental witch, they don't have something that science have is involved. Science isn't involved in elemental witchcraft, so they just use the natural resources that are found. You see, like for any element, for if you meet a witch doctor, remember in witchcraft, it's partially to do with your what your avatar, your heart, your because you can go to hospital, meet your doctor. If you have, then they can use cardiography to examine if it has hypertrophy or it doesn't have hypertrophy. If it has hypertrophy, then they are going to prescribe it antihypertensive drug to deal with the hypertrophy thing. You see, meet a witch doctor, then he doesn't even have an idea that in the world there is uh, cardiograph, or in the world there is a machine that is can be used to visualize, to scan what the his patient. I don't know whether they call them yeah, best way they have to they view you as a client, but remember, as a client in their vernacular language. They don't. For you to find a English medium, English witch doctor, then it's you are lucky. Most for people to not go because that the medium is because of language barrier. Yeah. So this is what which elemental witchcraft is. So they just use the local available resources, like they might use air, just bruising some air on your face, saying that is good. So the things you need as you are living, growing, and actualizing. To realize magically that you have possessed a certain power where you are going, where you are living, when you are with the people, and you might live as a hero. But keep in mind, don't be delusional. Always use the reason that if you hear what your medium or your witch doctor have told you, it's a blessing. So they might use the locally available resources like air, fire, and water, and do their magic reality happen on your face. That is elemental witch, and is all form of witchcraft. Because right now we have, as humans, we know now medicine. We know how to read and write, and we examine things using logic and reason, and to find the which which that is gonna suit our needs. We all prefer going to church. We all prefer visiting the pastor to pray for us, so that some our spirituality we should also be boosted. But in the past, people were uh, uh, consulting, majority were consulting the witch doctors because it was source of power, self, and it was a form of spirituality. Because in the society, it gives you the identity of someone people get information from, not the identity of like the way it is in a society were identified as and remember the society look at you as someone they can go, you can go and lay hands on, so that you pray to them, so that once you have prayed for them, they should receive the holiness in them, they should receive Christ. You see? But if you haven't been going to church, you just know the society knows you, and they treat you as the way you are. That is it about elemental witch. And the one is green or hedge witch. So green witches are deeply connected to the earth and its energy. You see, they are plants, trees, and flowers of all kinds. The green witch is all about their uh, they be live they be they believe plants, herbs, oils, bugs, seeds, fruits, flowers, often but now always they grow their own. So the desktop I'm not using a desktop computer. I'm using my laptop. So on my laptop, as I have shared you know, I have shared you the screen, and you can look at the font of the it was poorly. If it was in the like time, it was uploaded, but the author didn't look at the font on how best people can read. So as I have shared with you the article, it had shrink. So to read properly, that's why I need to do something like this, so that I can read clearly to you and explain as simple as it is and in straightforward. That is about green and hedge witch. So once they know all the type of grasses in the world. Once it's rain season and we are going to other new season, they know that this type of green belongs to the Most High. You see, and they might just have those for even just taking a. It can be inside you period of time until a certain time someone tells you you had this situation, and this is a symbol. that you were being communicated, but you didn't listen. But if you listened, then it's going to be the most important thing. Remember, we talk about freedom, we talk about choices. That's why all this witchcraft comes in and in evolution. I hope you have understood about green and hedge witch. Hedge witch now it depends. Green and hedge witch is depend on the type of the of the plants that someone get into touch. And the last one on this is kitchen witch. So kitchen witches, it's about tea witches and health or cottage witches are a very home centric individual. They can be extremely nurturing and they can love to make their home a social and a sacred space. For this which home is their sanctuary and welcome into it any and all of kind heart. Then it means in the house where people are living. Now it might depend. It means if the family is of witchcraft, or if the owner of the house have made the medium, the is whatever happened inside the house, it means for their will. But psychologically, people might not identify the things they were supposed to identify. Remember, witchcraft is all over, and the spirituality shows all that also connect people to this. It's your choice to leave it or be aware and awaken. Like the way I'm giving you this free yourself, you might have free will. Your determinism. You might be determined yourself and attached to things you need, attached to things you love, and fight for them, look for them, ask for them until they happen, until you get them. That is that about this article. Let's look to the audience. What did the audience say about it? Witchcraft? Wait, so I should just check, look at the. Um, I should just look at. I already brainstorming. I read about it, so I'm going to tell tell you what it is. Uh, should you look? It's a tutorial that and someone had a research in South Africa about what witchcraft is. Witchcraft. And he also talked about the reason why, yeah, witch doctors in South Africa documentary. It's a 43 minutes video, but we will just look. We are going just to examine the first 5 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes. This now we don't want to get up to uh, 50 minutes longer video. We want this to be friendly, funny, and time bound for our psyche and our mental health too, so that we are learning based on will. Because remember, this is uh, not directed learning. This is self learning. Once you are here, you have chosen to study these things so that out there you might live uh, the best version of you. people should admire you out there. So let me share with you guys what the documentary says. Yeah, here it is. Witch Doctors in South Africa documentary. The other is a song Hopes in Witch Doctor whatsoever. I don't know this what the song say, but I just googled it. I searched Witch Doctor it's because of the article used. So you can see even the article, the images that were there. You see, it's form of paganism, but the masks they are referring to Gurewankuru, but in Gurewankuru they don't. I don't think Gurewankuru look like this. But in the Gurewankuru, remember witchcraft mostly also embodied in cultures, different cultural groups, different ethnic groups of people. That's where witchcraft also is embodied here most. When this is my firstborn, and next time she's going to explain to you what witchcraft is. Right now she's in primary, Nazareth school, and she's dealing with the ABCD. You know, ABCD is not the witchcraft. ABCD is not ABCD. They are dealing with vowels. Vowels, yeah. ABCD. Vowels are R, A, E, O. Ooh. They are looking at the and the other. What did Pajama Puziraja? Puziraja? Tanina alphabet. Tanina indeed. Alphabet. Yeah. Alphabet. Yeah. A B C D E F G H I C K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z. Yeah. I know alphabet. You see, she says she know alphabet, and she knows 26 letters. It means A to Z. You have to know it from A to Z. So once she gets to primary school, she's going to know what is to write, how to write 26. Hey, yes, yeah. This is my vernacular language is Chichewa. So I believe she's going to make it. So let's hear to what the documentary say. This is the South Africa. So YouTube is really triggering. It's really a boring place sometimes to be because of how things are. So my location is now based in Algeria, but I'm not actually living in Algeria. I'm in Malawi. But for you to look at the list, you are not going to find it on it. You are not going to find Malawi. But here in Malawi, the computers, the smartphones are all over. And that's why I'm even able to stream to you guys using my webcam camera. But on the residence country, you are not going to find Malawi. So I was trying, and in the past years, because I started streaming around 2022. But here in 2026, by then I didn't indicate my location. Now in 2026 I have indicated my location. I wanted to get money. I was trying to look at monetization issues. You see, so I chose the Algeria. once I chose Algeria, now to say I want to get rid of the location, then the YouTube gave me no option. It's like but there are options on how you can hide your country. But for me, the way the hiding, I wasn't conversant with, I wasn't good at. So always you will see that I basically located in Algeria, but I'm living in Malawi. That is my place. That is my country, my home origin, not Algeria. Algeria is also here in Africa. So let's hear to what this documentary, the study was being done in South Africa, and the guy who did this study in South Africa came from Europe. He's not a black person; he's a white person. So look, let's hear to what he discovered, what the South Africans say about witchcraft, and what witchcraft is all about in South Africa.
Business.
Yeah. Remember, we have said we were going to just look. First, we will be
The
busy.
Boer project continues. I'm back in South Africa, this time to investigate the murders and organ thefts related to South African witchcraft. Is reality telling us the story?
So this one was mostly he focused mostly on the murderers on witchcraft, those who were accused of witchcraft.
People sent to me.
All the black tribes in South Africa have some
Someone is discovered as a witch, they kill. So this happened mostly. They say he went to it was in South Africa, and this the guy he made. You can see he's black. The one who interviewed the person is white, and it means we don't know why he wanted to study witchcraft, because to leave Europe to South Africa only to just study what witchcraft is, then it means you have a lot of, we want information, and you also need to have money for you to travel and do all these things. So let's continue.
sort of traditional
Okay.
practices. Human private parts cure a lot of things. HIV, it can manage cancer. A body part, they believe that it has some kind of powerful magic that can enrich someone else or can make someone invincible.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, a lot of people are believing in it.
The Muti is also all bullshit. It's a fucker that just goes out there and makes any stupid ingredient. Shit, there is just nothing in it that medically can assist you.
Arranged a cremation for his loved one, and the day before he wanted to say his last goodbye. And once they opened the
This cremation, he wanted to say his last goodbye, and once they opened the coffin, the heat was gone. You see, he went to South Africa. He interviewed some Europeans. So the Europeans, they say maybe it was a conclusion about what he found in South Africa, but we will still continue. But I just wanted to comment on what he said, that this the white guy said this, oh shit, it made no sense in medicine. You see, that is what I wanted to comment on. That is what I explained on the types of forms of witchcraft: the elemental, which electrical, which
coffin, the head was gone.
this is quite a good suggestion.
Do you think it's possible for us to go with you and meet Sangoma, a witch
If
doctor?
you
It's possible. We are going to a settlement township where people live. You can go there. a Sangoma or any witch
Later
doctor.
modern, you might realize there is a fascinating
In the Zulu tribe, we
thing
call
that
them Sangoma or Inyanga. Other
most
tribes,
people
they are using their different
enjoy.
names. In this country, they have a law is on their side.
But
Yeah,
when you try to find order,
the South African system recognize them as traditional healers, the same way as professional medical. Yeah, they practice the same way as medical professional.
So the witch doctors are equivalent to an actual doctor.
Yes, I could say so because you could go there, they could tell you maybe you have sugar diabetes. They could give you some muti, a concoction to drink. Then they will tell you it level or manage whatever it is that you have a cancer. Take it down according to them.
You say that it is, but do people believe in this still today?
There are people who are still believing in this in South Africa. Yeah, a lot of people are believing it.
Even in the political climate, if we're talking within the ANC and the government?
I could say so because there are some political leaders who have been reported Muti or visiting traditional healers. Yeah. Muti medicine is a traditional medicine actually mixed with a lot of things. It could be traditional herbs and sometimes even human parts.
Human parts, what do you mean?
Human parts, it could be your human private parts, stomach parts. They can just mix it with everything, then they can make muti out of it.
And what does this medicine cure when they use the human parts?
According to traditional stuff, it can cure a lot of things. It can manage HIV, it can manage sugar diabetes, cancer, but as well, they're also using it to enrich people according to that. Quite some other business people are using the same method, believing that a human part will expand their business. A body part, they believe that it has some kind of magic, powerful magic that can enrich someone else or can make someone invincible. Yeah, that's what they believe in. That's why many babies have been killed. They remove the body parts, or sometimes they just take the body like that. It's kind of like a sacrifice. They believe that you can become invincible or your business could expand.
So they actually kidnap babies,
Yeah,
and take it to the witch doctors.
correct.
And the witch doctor makes muti medicine out of
The
it.
witch doctor may make muti out of the body parts.
There are about 200,000 Sangomas in South Africa. Of the South African population have at least one skull. But instead of Western medicine, the Sangomas will give their clients muti. It is normally a mixture of different herbs and plants, and quite often also includes animal parts, like chicken bones and organs. But when the normal medicine doesn't work and the client needs a stronger medicine, the Sangoma could turn to the human body for parts to create a more powerful muti. This has sometimes put Sangomas to cooperate with criminal syndicates to target undertakers for harvesting organs from the morgue. Jan Esterhuisen is an undertaker from the Pretoria region. How come a white undertaker gets so many black customers?
Because they know that the body or the deceased will be fine at your premises.
What do you mean by being fine?
You know, it's been a long time now.
There are about 200,000 Sangomas in South Africa, and nearly 60% of the South African population have at least once consulted one of these witch doctors. But instead of Western medicine,
You see? But instead of Western medicine, the Sangomas will give their clients mati.
the Sangomas will give their clients muti. It is normally a mixture of different herbs and plants, and quite often also includes animal parts, like chicken bones and organs. But when the normal mutti medicine doesn't work and the client needs a stronger medicine, the Sangoma could turn to the human body for parts to create a more powerful mutti. This has sometimes put Sangomas to cooperate with criminal syndicates to target undertakers for harvesting organs from the morgue.
You see, he talked about criminal undertakers harvesting organs from the morgue. John Easternism is an undertaker from the Praetorian Legion. You see? So always remember, morgue means mortuary. So you see, there was medicine and witchcraft involved. So if you have taken all your organs, remember, only doctors are the ones who know humans' organs. And in the near future, in the advancement of medicine and with the coming of quantum computing, then we might be able to have people might I don't know other countries that if full body scan is happening, but in my countries, Malawi, we don't do full body scan, but you can go to X-ray. They can scan you where you are having a problem. But for just a checkup that you just want to have a checkup of your body and you need a full body scan, I don't think that is not happening. I don't think so. I'm also a nurse. I work at the Zomba Central Hospital, and in Malawi we have only 4. That is Zomba Central Hospital, and we also Elizabeth Central Hospital. When I say public, it means non-government, government. BMOC is free services, but it's where consultants are those ones who have PhDs in medicines. Like for me, I have professional midwife. I have bachelor's. I have get bachelor's in 2022. Now my experience as a professional midwife, I have done bachelor's in midwifery. That is to say, bachelor's in midwifery only. So the governmental institutions we have is Zomba Central Hospital, we have Queen Elizabeth, we have Kamuzu Central Hospital, and we have Nzuzu Central Hospital. But non-governmental institutions, we only with the BMOC services, with tertiary services, we only have Mwaiwatu. You see? So all of these institutions, I know of them, but only at Mwaiwatu. I haven't worked at Mwaiwatu, but the to have a full body scan, I don't think we are as Malawians we are doing. Or I should ask friends if some told me that it is happening. I'm going to share with you guys. But this is what it is. Harvesting organs from the mob. John Easternism is the undertaker from the Pretoria Legion. This Pretoria member is the capital city of South Africa. So Mogju means mocha. You can check on the dictionary. Yeah.
Jan Esterhuisen is an undertaker from the Pretoria region. How come a white undertaker gets so many black customers?
Because they know that.
So now is how come a white undertaker gets so many black customers? Because they know that the body
Body or the deceased will be fine at your premises.
will be fine at your
What do you mean by being fine?
You know, it's been a long time now. You get like muti sellers, people who sell muti, cutting off body parts of deceased.
Yeah. So that is that. that is that about the documentary, guys. If you want to know more, you can see we are now close to 50 minutes. If you want to know more about what it says, you can just Google witch doctors in South Africa. Then you are going to learn everything in its order and know what it is from A to Z. Once you know what it is, then you are going to be free. You're going to have your free will back and know if the truly witchcraft is being performed or not. Yeah, that is that I wanted to share with you guys. Bye for today.
That's for today. That's for today.